We're here today with Herman Judd, a United States Marine Corps member in Second World War. He's going to tell us a little bit about his experience, his time in the service, and share some information about that time. So Herman, you got notice of the draft?
Yeah.
In what year?
44.
In 1944?
1944.
What went on then, starting from the time that you were drafted?
Well,
What all happened?
you mean going to
What
the
happened?
service, you mean? What happened?
What did you do next once you got your notice?
Well, I went down and told them to send me in the first bunch. I wanted to get out of there.
Okay.
I wanted to get in the service.
It was time to go.
I wanted to get in the Navy.
You wanted to get in the Navy.
Yeah.
Now you ended up in the Marines.
Yeah, I know I did.
Tell us how that came about.
Well, there was about 50, a group of about 50 men, and they wanted to pick 2 Marines out of that bunch. Nobody wouldn't volunteer. So that guy said, I'll be back in a few minutes, and put on your smile because I'm going to pick 2 of you out. When he come back, everybody dropped their head and looked down and didn't look at him. He come all the way around that group, about 50 of them, picked me. And I thought, my goodness, why did you pick me? Why didn't you get some of them big, good-looking guys? Make you a good Marine. He said, oh, you'll like it. I said, yeah, I know I might like it, but I don't want the Marines. I want to be in the Navy. Oh, you'll make a good Marine. You'll be glad you got in there. He talked me right into it. And so he took me in this room, had me start filling out papers, and he said, I'll be back in a few minutes. So he come back, he said, I told him, I said, I don't want to go to the Marine Corps. I want to go in the Navy. That's what I signed up for. He kept talking to me, what you like? I said, I want to go with my twin brother out there. And so he said, well, I'll just go get him too. So he sent that other guy back, had another guy in there with me, sent him back, got my twin brother.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's how we landed up in the Marine Corps.
How did your twin brother feel about you volunteering him for the Marines?
He didn't like it. He didn't like it a bit, and I didn't like it either. But I thought that'd get me back with him. Instead of that, it went the other way.
Okay, so where did you go from there? What kind of training did you do?
We went to boot camp
At
in San Diego, 13 weeks. And then as soon as we got out of that, they picked me and my twin brother to go to El Toro Marine Base, work on planes.
That's not the infantry.
No.
Sound like a better plan, maybe?
Yeah, I was glad of that.
How long were you at El Toro?
Pretty close to a year.
Was there additional training that they sent you to?
Yeah, we went to Memphis, Tennessee, to SB2C school.
FBQC.
That's the plane that we worked on.
Mm-hmm.
That's to learn about the plane. Of course, we've been working on them, but they still sent us to that school.
Mm-hmm. The training that you did.
Well, they kept us busy looking at that plane and turning into part of it, just what they could get by with, you know, without getting into a lot of work.
Were you working on brand new machines?
No,
or-
this was the old plane that was there, and we got to work on it a little.
Mm-hmm.
They asked us questions that we had to answer after we got through.
Mm-hmm. That is questions that about the
About the
condition of the
plane.
plane.
About
the
the plane.
condition. Okay.
Yeah. They put it the last day they give us a little test. They put something in the distributor so it wouldn't start, and we had to find that.
You had to troubleshoot.
Yeah. So that's interesting.
They do anything other than in the ignition system? Did they plant other faults, so to speak?
Yeah,
So
but I
so
can't
you'd
remember.
have to dig them out.
I can't remember everything we've done.
Uh-huh.
That's been a long time ago.
Well,
But we spent about a week or two on that. Pretty thorough
mm-hmm. Troubleshooting.
troubleshooting and
Mm-hmm.
learning a little more about it.
Okay. Well, that refined your skills with that plane.
Yeah.
What happened next?
Well, they took us out of the aviation and put us back in the infantry.
So the course of the war was changing.
They lost
And-
a lot of men, and Iwo Jima and Okinawa, and they took us as replacements and trained us for combat conditioning.
How long did that take? How long was your training to get back in the infantry?
I'd say a few months, not very long. I don't remember exactly.
Where did you go from there?
Well, we went aboard the ship, and we didn't know where we was headed. They didn't tell us.
Mm-hmm.
But that's where we was going. We was going to invade Japan.
Mm-hmm.
But about 2 days out, they dropped that first bomb, that first atomic bomb. And of course, we was aboard ship. They announced it over the PA system that the United States had dropped a secret weapon.
What was the reaction on ship?
Well, we didn't know what it was.
Oh, you didn't know what the secret weapon was?
No. So about another day or two, they dropped that second bomb, and they announced it again. And then about another day we was in Hawaii. So we stopped there. I don't remember how long we stayed. Not too long.
Okay, well, your destination was Iwo Jima originally, wasn't it?
No, it was
No?
Japan.
Okay, it was Japan.
Yeah, we was headed to invade Japan.
Okay.
If
How long?
they hadn't dropped those 2 bombs, we'd still been down there.
Yeah. How long were you there in Hawaii?
Just a few days, and we went to Maui. And we stayed there. I stayed there several months. And then from Maui, we went to Guam and finished up my time overseas at Guam. We was replacement for the guys that had been fighting, and
Mm-hmm.
of course we didn't. After the war ended, we didn't have a whole lot to do.
So how'd you spend your time?
Playing basketball and this and that. Well,
Recreation?
we didn't do much.
Uh-huh. Didn't have to do any drills, or
Not very many.
it was just kind of a stand down time.
Yeah. Yeah, the war was over.
Do you have any regrets
No,
about your service?
no.
You make any new friends?
Oh yeah, I made several good friends. My best buddy that I had, as soon as we got out of service, he got killed in a car wreck.
Oh no.
I never did get to go visit him.
Where was he from?
Chicago.
That's terrible. You have any real memorable times that you think back upon, things that you would have done different?
Not really.
Any humorous times?
I'm sure I did, but I can't remember.
Were there
I
bad?
remember when we was coming back home, I run in went to the PX and run into a guy that had been on the Iwo Jima flag raising bunch.
He'd been on Iwo Jima
Yeah,
doing what?
raising the flag. You remember that?
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah. You do that every day, and at the end of the day, you bring it down.
Yeah, but not this was
No, wait.
special. This was that picture of the flag raising.
Okay. And you had a friend that
I
was
don't
on
know.
that?
I run into him, and me and him was drinking beer together.
Uh-huh.
Ira Hayes.
That was
You
Ira.
remember Ira Hayes?
Yeah, Indian.
That was him.
Sure enough. Did you keep in touch with Ira?
No,
No?
that was the last time I seen him.
I think that's a good memory.
Yeah, that's one of the good memories.
Yeah, that is outstanding. Were there any bad times you remember?
Well, I'm sure there was, but they don't stand out.
Not as bad, not so bad as you look back? You have any regrets?
Nope.
What are you grateful for?
What do you mean grateful for?
Are you grateful as a citizen of the United States and as a Marine?
Absolutely. Yeah.
You can be proud of your service to our country. You volunteered originally.
Yeah.
We're proud of you too.
Well, thank you.
Is there anything that you'd like your family to know?
I don't know of anything, and I've told them what little I've done. When I was asked to come here,
Uh-huh.
I told them I didn't have nothing big to tell.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad I served.
I think that's big.
Yeah.
You volunteered, and when it was time, you spoke up, and you took that opportunity
Yeah.
to serve. You can be proud of that. We're all proud of it. In fact, I want to thank you for your service.
I was glad to be in,
All right.
and I was glad to get out. I wanted to get out and do a little running around.
Can you tell us about how your life went once you were finished with the Marine Corps? Once you were finished and the war had closed down, you came back home.
Yeah. Well, I actually went into service from Kentucky,
Oh, you did?
but I had worked in Connersville, so here's where I landed back after I got out.
So you came back to Connersville
Yeah.
and then on to Kentucky?
No, I went to Kentucky first.
You went to Kentucky first.
Yeah, and then come here, back here, because I'd worked here.
What did you do in Kentucky?
Well, not much of anything. I worked. The first job I had was I was 16 years old, and I got a job of working on a bluegrass ordnance, and that's where they had igloos where they stored ammunition and for the service.
Okay, now is this while you were still in the Marine Corps?
No, this
No?
is
It was
before I
after.
went.
Before you went?
Before I went. I was 16 years old.
Oh, okay. So before you went and before you joined the Navy, or before you went to answer the draft, the call of the draft, you were working as a civilian in Kentucky.
And here, working in Indiana. I was working in Indiana then.
Here.
Yeah, here in Connersville.
What were you doing?
Working in a factory. American Central.
American Central?
Yeah.
What did they do? What was their product?
They had made war products,
Okay.
plane parts.
Mm-hmm. And they were still making them when you got back?
Evidently, they'd getting ready to stop making them.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Where did you go on from there?
Well, I worked there till they put me on nights, and I got a job working with my brother on construction. So I finished up there.
Uh-huh. What were you building?
Well, we built a house or two, we just remodeled, whatever.
Okay, good.
Then after I got out of service, I still worked for my brother's son. And I worked for him several years, and he went out of business. So I went out on my own. I worked as a contractor for a few years.
Mm-hmm.
Built a few houses.
About your brother, how did he stay with you with through all of the training?
Yeah,
Did you both do the same kind of thing?
yeah. We got separated when, for I'd say about a 5 or 6 month period just before we come back
Oh,
home.
you were. Where did
They
he?
put him in the MP outfit, military police,
Right.
and I went and carried the mail where I
Oh, you did.
yeah, where I went. But that's the only time we were separated.
And so then, once both of your times were up, you linked back up together.
Yeah, I told my officer that I had a brother that I wanted to go home with.
Mm-hmm.
Next morning, I was down there with him. I helped him being in military police for a month or two
Uh-huh.
before we got discharged, before we
Okay.
got ready to come back home.
So once we came back home, then the two of you were together working on.
Well, we started the school after we got out of service. He finished up. He graduated from college, and I went 1 year and quit.
Mm-hmm.
So I always regretted the quitting, but I enjoyed working too. I enjoyed working.
Mm-hmm.
After I'd done that, I went back in business for myself, and I worked for another guy building houses. We must have built 50 houses in town and out in the country.
Mm-hmm. What was the name of the company?
Boer and Day.
Say that again.
Boer and Day.
And Day.
Yeah, there's two of them.
Well, I'm sure you got several houses.
That's been a long time ago.
But there are a lot of those houses still
Yeah.
left.
Oh yeah. He took me the other day out to show him all the houses I built,
Uh-huh.
and I couldn't find them. They'd changed. Some of them been painted different. Some had fences, and some had this, and garages, and some had
Oh, yeah.
all different. I didn't find them all.
Oh, yeah.
They made fun of me for that.
Well, as time goes by, original houses do change
Yeah.
in character.
Yeah,
Additions are put on, and the landscape changes.
yeah.
I want to thank you for coming in today and sharing some of your experience with us. I'm proud of you. Semper Fi, and thank you for your service to this
Semper
country.
Fi.